Hey guys, Marmalade here. Thanks so much for joining me for episode 5 of what I've learned on the PCT. And we've got 4 more good questions today. And I wanted to know I know the sound has been pretty bad in my previous iterations of this series. The problem is I use the speaker that's on the phone itself, and it's picking up and amplifying sounds around the park that I'm in right now. I'm pretty secluded right now, but I have purchased, with a request from one of the people that watched, a lavalier mic, and I've tried to experiment really close. I don't know if it sounds bad, but it seems like when it's close to my face, it's uh, it's pretty tinny sounding and loud. I don't know how else to describe it, so I'm not really happy with the quality. But we're gonna try it on this video, see how it goes. If it's not good, I'll just send it back. I got it on Amazon. It wasn't very expensive. I tried it about a year ago, and it was horrible sounding, and it was pretty expensive. But it's much cheaper, and so I'm hoping this has some noise canceling ability. So we're hoping that does that and reduces the sound around me. I happen to be pretty secluded right now, but let's get on with number one. And our first one is from, let's see here. Somebody just goes by Hike. That's the name of their channel on YouTube. But he or she asked me, how do you know if you have enough fuel for cooking before a 100-mile stretch? Do you always buy a new fuel canister before a long stretch? So this is a hard one because I know there are some mathematical ways of weighing your canister to know how much is left. Supposedly how buoyant it is in water. I am not that smart or scientific, so I don't do that. So the best way I can answer you is I've learned from experience how long I carry a small fuel canister because it fits in my titanium pot. But I know that I've got it down to where I only cook once a day, and that's usually for dinner. So if I cook once a day, I can get about 15 to 18 days out of it. So at least 2 weeks. When I went through the Sierras last year and this year, I was getting with a new canister, and theoretically, at your high elevations, you get it takes longer to boil, so you're going to use more fuel. So the two things are how long it takes you to boil, and that's really predicated on your surroundings, elevation, weather, things like that, but also the type of stove you have. I have a Soto Amicus Windmaster one. It's very efficient, and because it blocks the wind, it keeps the flame hotter, I guess, so it boils pretty fast. But I don't know how mine compares to anybody else's. It's the one I've had forever, but I can get about 14 to 17 or 18 boils before I need a new canister. So I can usually tell by just feeling it. Once you've done it enough, you can feel that it's empty. If you shake it, there's almost no more shaking. You know that it's almost out of fuel. So no, I don't buy a new canister every time I get in a long run. My last two trips that lasted 3 weeks, I never replaced the canister. A new one lasted the whole way. So, and I'm actually, just so you know, too, phasing. I'm going to be experimenting with cold soaking or not cooking at all, so I can even save weight and the space on a stove. But I'm not sure if I'm going full bore with that yet. I'm going to try in some weekend trips to see what happens. But yeah, that's your answer. All right, my second question comes from Stan Lynch. He asked, "Are you carrying a first aid kit? And if so, what's in it?" So I'll show you a close up of what I have in it. It's always ever changing, evolving. Sometimes it depends on what I think I need that's new or something I don't need. Depends on the section I might be hiking. If I, let's say there's ticks or I need something, maybe a tick remover, just things that are different. And then some things go with me no matter what. And I'll show you. I'll do a little second video here, a close up of what I have in my first aid kit. But it always changes. Let me just show you what I carried in. This is a, I don't know the size of this. It's on, I got it from Z-Packs. It's a considered a ditty bag. It's waterproof, got this lock on there. And before I'll kind of show you this, in this bag, I always keep it on the outside pouch of my backpack so I can get at it fast because it's got electronics, charging cords, headlamps, things like that. Usually I have my exterior battery if I want to charge up. Maybe while I'm sitting for lunch, I could charge up my battery on my phone a little bit. Um, this is my first aid kit, and for reasons that I've learned, I just have it in a freezer. These are all in freezer quartz bags. That's waterproof. That's easy to see if you need to grab something. You know where it is. You can just open it up and grab it, and they're easy and cheap to replace. So that's why I do my first aid kits, which I'll show you in a minute. And the last thing I have in this ditty bag is my basically poop trowel, the blue one, and I carry some toilet paper. So that's what I use. That's what's in this thing. But we're talking about a first aid kit, so let me show you what I have in there. All right, so let's kind of show you what I have in the first aid kit. I kind of threw everything in there, so I don't always bring every single one of these things, but thought you might enjoy this. So here's my toothpaste. I have a bamboo toothbrush. Instead of cutting, I used to cut one down, but then my dirty hands were in my mouth. But this is a child's size bamboo toothbrush, and then just some these are like toothpicks just to clean. I get stuff caught on my teeth a lot, so and there's toothpaste. All right, so next we have some random bandages, some anti-diarrhea medication in case I get giardia, leukotape. I actually have a little bit too much. I just got this. It's really light though, so I may just bring it, but I may wrap a little bit less around my light or something like that. All right, as you can see, I have a small knife. You see the size of my finger, my hand. It's very small, Spyderco knife, tweezers, and especially in the desert when you get a lot of cactus things in you. Small super glue. I fixed my sunglasses, things like that before. Obviously, stuff a little. It's a really small little baby eye wash, and then toenail clippers. Okay, as you can see, I have my sewing kit here. It's kind of hard to see. I have some actual diaper pins in there and different things. I bought some really big needles at Walmart, and I have some dental floss here, and that's for this stuff is really strong and also waterproof. And if you ever get a big rip in your shorts or your shirt, you need something that might look kind of Frankensteinish, but you need to sew it up and it's strong. That's what you dental floss is for. So you need a bigger eye and the needle. I have some earplugs in case I'm around snores, and I have an extra mini Bic lighter just in case. I carry one on my cook kit, but just in case, especially if I ever needed to. I had a hyperthermic situation. I need to make a fire. I want to make sure I have a backup small lighter. All right, lastly, I have 6 big strips of KT tape, really important for me. After I got shin splints early on in the desert on my through hike in 19, I've been carrying those. I always carry some of that, really important. Or if I had to get to somebody else, I have a small mini permanent marker. It's great for making signs for things. I have this tape in case I need to retape a seam in my tent or something. It's repair tape, DCF. And then this is tenacious tape, super amazing. I just used all the black, but I usually get clear and black. It's great if you get like if I put a hole in my like down jacket, something like that. You can cover tenacious tape will not, or poke like cover a hole in your tent. It will not give away. And then these are patch kits for my Thermarest air mattress. All right, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you usually bring. And like I said, I sometimes add, subtract things. It just depends. But yeah, I hope that helps, and I hope that answers your question. All right, question number 3 is from Behind Enemy Lines, and he or she asked, let's see, I'd really like to do the PCT someday, but I'd like to do a few shorter hikes to prepare. Which sections would you recommend near the San Bernardino area near LA? So I picked like 3 areas that I know of just offhand. I had to write some notes because I want to give you mile markers in case you want to look on far out and look at them specifically. The first one that came to mind, which is at mile 218, mile marker 218.5. So when we talk about mile markers, remember when you start the Mexico border and go north, if you've hiked 1 mile, it's 1 mile, then 2, then 5, then 10. So at mile 218.5, it's just past Cabazon near like Palm Desert, Palm Springs area, is Whitewater Preserve. And why I like that place is I've gone out there a lot on my own. I may go out there the next month or two as the desert cools down, but it's only open certain hours. There's a ranger station there, but you can park your car there, leave it, and I've done this and just hike out onto the PCT at that mile 218.5 and go hike out towards Big Bear if you want, or you could hike the other way towards San Jacinto. Um, but they give you when you leave your car there. I don't think it costs anything to park there. They do lock the gates, but they give you the code to get out of there. If you were to come back in after hours, you can let yourself out of the gate. So it's a good place. So Whitewater Preserve is a great place at mile 218.5. If you go forward up to Big Bear, I just did a 2-day hike there. If you noticed it at mile 266, and you can go either north or south. The main thing is to pay attention to where water was. That I just went out there and did southbound from mile 266, but I was able to tell from the comments on far out that there was water at a spring, or I wouldn't have gone out there. So as winter comes in and we get more rain, then the springs and the creeks will flow, and there'll be more water readily available. But yeah, so mile 266, or if you another place in Big Bear, you go a little further up the trail to a place called Cougar Crest Trail, and there's a parking lot, and you have to hike about 2 miles to get up to the PCT. It's at mile 277.7. I've done that and gone to I forget the full name of it, Little Bear Springs. I've gone like 11 miles is a good day hike. Camp there and then come back to your car if you want to do an overnighter. But mile 277.7, you can go either way. I suggest going north to that Little Bear Springs. There's a solar powered bathroom, and sometimes the creek's flowing there, but it's a nice campground. It's room for people and horses, and you can hike the 11 miles back if you want, depending on your ability. So anyway, I hope that. Oh wait, there's one more. I forgot. There's one more. The last one would be near Wrightwood. If you go to near miles 374, it's at Highway 2 at Vincent Gap. Now you can go southbound. I'm thinking about doing this the next week or two, but Maybe by the time I post this video, I've done it, but I'm thinking about going to the base, and it's the base of Mount Baden-Powell. And I'm thinking about doing this hike. It's 4 miles to Mount Baden-Powell and 3,000 feet, so a lot of climb. And then I want to go over and go camp at a campground that's one of the best campgrounds on the PCT. The next morning, come back. So it's a lot of climb both ways, but super pretty hike, super challenging, but pretty. So I would suggest that. Like I said, mile 374, and that's near Wrightwood. So I hope that helps. That was the third one that I had in mind. So yeah, I hope that helps. Let me know if you end up doing one of those or a different one. All right, our fourth and final question is from Stephen Thompson. He's followed me for a while. Good hearing from you again, and a good question. Do you have any other long trails in your future plans? What is the plan with the PCT? Is it just section hikes until you've done with the whole trail? So I've really, sorry, I'm trying not to bump this microphone. I think I did, but I'm really trying to figure this out. So after this year, and I've gone like 2 years in a row with fire stopping me, I should be done with the trail right now. I still have 953 miles to go, and I was thinking about, I don't know, it was such a downer year this year. I was thinking about just only doing like the next bunch of years, just doing 100 miles a year, just to not worry about it. But I kind of have my plan changed a little bit, and I have actually the hiking rev to thank for that. If you watch his videos or mine, we joined when I got back on trail on the PCT near Mammoth at Reds Meadow. We hiked for a couple, like I don't know, about 10 days together, and it's all perspective, right? Like I really wish I've only been hiking 7 years, but I wish I was hiking. I've had so many incredible experiences since I started 7 years ago, but now I sometimes kick myself, and I try not to live in the past, but I kick myself that I didn't do this in my 20s, but I was pursuing golf and a lot of other things. But so I only have the time I have, but then I was feeling kind of old, and I had kind of a little bit of a health scare this time, and I was just kind of thinking, you know, maybe I'm getting too old, this and that. And when I'm out there, and once I lean down a little bit after about a week and get my trail legs, I kill it, and I feel great out there, and it's the most freeing, most amazing experience I think I've experienced in my life. And but I was getting down this year, but Rev really helped me think about it because he's about 10 years, 9 or 10 years older than me, and he's getting closer to the end of his long distance, like extreme hiking, like we do, and it's all relative, right? Like I'm 60, but I'm a really young 60, I feel, and there's people that are 50 that probably don't hike as well as I do, but it's all relative. Yeah, I wish I was 20 and 30 and 40, but I'm not. But he's just like, you should be hiking. You got another at least a good 10 years in you. And I thought, you know what, you're right. And so I think, and this could change, you guys, so don't hold me to this, but my plan has changed. And I told my son this, and he even said to me the other day, I thought you were just going to do like 100 miles a year for the next bunch of years so you get it done and not really put them. And I really thought about that, and I realized how much I love doing this. And there's other trails. I'm going to answer your question in a minute. So I think that if I can work it out miles wise, I think I've done a lot of the hardest parts of the trail. I have Northern Cal to do. I have 90 miles in Oregon, and then I have from Cascade Locks up to Stevens Pass, which is steeper and a little bit harder. But I've got a lot of the hardest stuff done, which is less miles and slower hiking. So I think I can bump up the miles. And I figured it out. And I think if I take another 2 months off again next year, I can finish the 953 miles and be done next year. It'll take me, if I can finish it, it'll be 5 years. If I can go early enough, I can get past a lot of the fires if they do start. And everything I need to do is open right now and will be open next year. So unless there's fires in front of me again for the third year in a row, I should be good. But that's my plan right now, Stefan, is to try to finish the PCT next year if I can save the money to do it and have enough time. I think I can do it in the 2 months off that I would take. So that is my plan. Long term plans. Uh, Again, Hiking Rev, thank you. If you watch this, you really helped me think about it, and I really, all I've done is talk about the PCT. I've done the long trail in Vermont and some others, but my love has always been the PCT. But I realize that I just love hiking. And I love through hiking. It's the experience is there's nothing like it. If you've ever done it, you know what I'm talking about. So I really want to, as of right now, and that could change, but I really want to go for the Triple Crown. I think I want to do it, and hopefully the other trails I can do in 1 year, so I'm not stretching out like I did the PCT. Sorry about that pause. I had somebody go by and say hi, so I had to pause for a minute. But yeah, so that's my plan. And then it's funny because I've done the long trail, and the first 100 miles of that in Vermont was on the AT, so I got experience of it. AT is hard, and you deal with the bugs attack me. They love me. I told you that from the start. They love eating me alive. The cold, the hot, the humid, all that. It's a really hard trail, very steep. So I think I really, to be honest with you, I think if I did the AT, I would like parts of it, but I'm really not, at least at this point, looking forward to it. And I don't know why. Maybe it's because I like the way the West Coast kind of terrain and weather is. But I actually, if I go for the Triple Crown and finish the PCT and go for it, I actually would probably do the AT second, because it sounds a little bit silly, but I've talked to some people that were on the AT this year, and they said they talked to people that were finishing their Triple Crown on the AT, and they felt the same way as me. They felt like the other two trails for them were so majestic and so amazing that they were kind of bummed to finish on the AT. So I know if I did the AT, I would have an amazing experience and probably learn a lot and be way better than I think it's going to be. But the CDT, I've been watching a lot of videos on that. It looks amazing. It looks like it's the PCT on steroids. Much harder than the PCT, but I really think if I can get this PCT done this next year and or soon, and get it done, that I would go for the AT second, and then so I could finish on the CDT. I just think it would be amazing to finish on a trail like that. So that's my plan right now, Stefan. As I know it's a long answer, but besides that, I don't. I've thought about the Arizona Trail, the Colorado Trail, that kind of stuff. But if I do the CDT, I think 380 of the 500 miles overlaps the Colorado Trail is the CDT. So I pretty much have done the Colorado Trail. So right now I don't have any other plans. I want to do these longer trails while I still physically can, assuming I can do it health wise, and then I could do the smaller stuff and whatever seems interesting to me after. But the Triple Crown, I mean, not many people have ever done it. More and more people are able to do it now because the trails are becoming so popular. But I just think it would be not just a great feat, but more just the most amazing experience. The experiences I've had on the PCT, and I've only done almost 1,700 miles, has been incredible. So I can't imagine extrapolating that over two more trails. So yeah, that's your answer. And I think that's it, you guys. Let me know if you have some more questions. I'm looking for questions, so great questions. Um, and of course, subscribe and like and hit the notification bell. Love to have you come on board. It's weird. I'm doing better. I've got almost 4,500 subscribers, but the stats are really weird. It shows that, and I have a decent amount of views, that only 10% of you that watch are subscribers. So if you like watching my videos, subscribe. It's cool, totally free. Uh, Nobody harasses you. The only thing you'll get from me is notifications when I have a new video pop up. So if you enjoy my content, please help support the channel by liking and subscribing. And I think that's it. So next time, we'll definitely see you down the trail.